Hey, Dean Horvath here. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can become a luxury travel advisor. Now, this is a recorded webinar that I did recently. It's about an hour, just over an hour. If you don't have time to watch it now, I recommend doing a couple different things. One could be to go ahead and click the share button below and just email it to yourself so you can watch it later. The second thing you could probably do is hit the save button, and then you can come back to your YouTube channel later and just look at what you've got saved and check it there. Or you could always just go in to your YouTube homepage and check your history, and it'll show up there because you're already watching a little bit of it, so it will show you there. So those are 3 different ways that you can go back and watch this later if you don't have just over an hour now to check it out. Another thing I wanted to say is that for me, I have a difficult time listening to webinars when people are just talking at a regular pace. My mind starts to wander and I start to think about other things and start clicking away and stuff. So if you have the same thing as me, then what I recommend doing is going ahead and clicking that little gear down there. So it'll pop up and it'll say playback speed, and you can increase it. I like to watch things at 1.25 or 1.5 so it goes through a little bit quicker. If you're like me, you may want to do that. Third thing to say is that because this is a webinar that I did live, obviously you're watching it on YouTube as a recording, and the platform that I used to do it live was different. And so where I say in the video how you can ask questions, that's not available here on YouTube. So instead, what I'm going to say is just send me an email at dean@sellingluxurytravel.com. That's the easiest way, or just go ahead and if it's an easy question, just write it down in the comments down there. I'll be paying attention to the comments and we will answer any questions you have down there as well. Fourth thing to say before we get started is that when you get to the end of the video, you're going to see that there is a special offer, half price special offer that's there that in the video says is only available for 3 days. We have decided to extend it to the end of August. So August 31st will be the last day that you can get that special. Stick around to the end of the video and you'll see what it is. But know that even though in the video it says 3 days, this will be available till the end of August. And the last thing is that if you want to take a couple days to think about it, or you want to mull it over a bit, obviously it's a decision. It's a major job. It's a wonderful way to spend the rest of your life. But of course, decisions like that you may have to take a couple days on. That's no problem either. But to come back here to find the link and to find out where you need to go to register, my advice is to hit the subscribe button. And then that way you can always come back and check out this video. So that's all I have to say. Let's jump into the recorded video, and I hope you enjoy it. Hey there, this is Dean Horvath, and we're going to be talking about the 3 secrets that you need to know to become a luxury travel advisor, even if you have no travel experience and no clients. So the Huffington Post calls it the best job in the world. Forbes magazine says it's a dream job. Oprah herself thinks it's the happiest job in America. It's a luxury travel advisor. And wouldn't you love to be doing this job? Hey everybody, my name is Dean Horvath, and we're going to be here for about 60 minutes today, and we're going to talk about the 3 secrets to my success as a luxury travel advisor. But it's not just my success, because these are the same secrets that I've taught to hundreds of travel advisors, allowing them to work from home, traveling an average of 5 times per year with the opportunity to make 6 figures doing what they love, which is planning travel. So by the end, you're going to have a clear picture of whether becoming a luxury travel advisor is right for you and whether you want to jump in on the opportunity. So how does that sound? Great. Okay, before we jump in, 3 quick things. If you're anything like me, you probably have your email open, Messenger or Skype or your mobile phone or other tabs on the internet, whatever. I encourage you to shut those down. Trust me, I know how hard it is to find some time just to sit back and watch. But I like to think of it like this. If someone was going to offer you a 14-day trip to Thailand and all you had to do was go 60 minutes without checking your email or text messages, would you do it? Of course you would. And so, well, this is what I'm offering you. I'm offering you the chance to do a heck of a lot more travel than that, and to get into a world that you can be passionate about, a job that you can love doing. So I really don't want you to miss out on anything by being distracted. Next, I'd like to tell you that you can feel free to ask me questions right over there. I probably won't answer them until the very end because I'll lose my train of thought and kind of the progression of our webinar today. But I'll try and get to all the questions at the end. If I don't have any time for yours in particular, I'll reply by email shortly afterwards. Third and most important, please stick around until the end because I have a great bonus for you. But it's only available to those who stick around until the end. We all know COVID has certainly impacted the travel industry in a huge way in 2020, and it's going to continue to impact, from now in early 2021. It may even get a bit worse before it gets better. So because of this, you may be wondering why in the world you would want to get into this business now. The reality is that there's never been a better time because travel is already starting to pick up. And there's a few reasons for this. The vaccines are already rolling out. As more people get vaccinated, more people will feel comfortable booking travel. Now, although today's virus numbers are high, we don't book travel for today. Remember, when people are planning travel, they're booking it for 6 to 12 months in the future. And we all know, everybody's saying is that the world is going to look very different, come the summer and past that. We don't have to wait for everyone to be vaccinated. Once an individual is vaccinated, they're going to be able to travel. And the majority of wealthy travelers are seniors simply because they've had a lifetime to accumulate their wealth and they have more time to travel in their retirement. Now, the thing is that seniors are also at the top of the list for getting the vaccine. So this demographic is going to start traveling sooner. This is a big one. There is a huge pent-up demand. Wealthy travelers normally travel multiple times per year, and yet they've been stuck on the ground since, March 2020. They are itching to get back out there. So once they get that vaccine, they will be traveling multiple times on significant trips over the next 6 to 24 months. And the last thing is, one that I have to say as an unfortunate thing, because I know lots of people that have downsized their travel companies and many travel advisors have even left the travel business over the last 12 months because, either on their own or as a consequence of being let go. And, I even know some people that have used it as an excuse to retire. So what this means is that there won't be near enough working luxury travel advisors to manage this upcoming demand, which is why there's never really been a better time to start. Our phones are already ringing, people wanting to plan travel for later in 2021 and into 2022, and this is only growing. So there's a small window of time right now where someone can learn to be a luxury travel advisor and market themselves to potential new clients in order to be ready to take advantage of this rush when it happens. And so yes, you can wait until the world officially gets back to normal again and then look at becoming a luxury travel advisor. But what you risk is losing out on this opportunity to capture all this new travel and this, this back to travel pent up surge is going to bring. And the thing is that this huge surge will be done by the time you're ready to take on clients if you wait. So the other thing to mention is that there's always a ramp up time no matter when you start. So only now your ramp up time will coincide with that pent up demand. So really, there's never been a better time to start. I'm advising all of our agents to use this time to learn as much as you can and to work on the marketing we teach in the course. You're going to be in a fantastic position once the world gets back to traveling full time. Okay, so I know we haven't met yet, but I'm going to take a guess at why you're here. So do any of these sound familiar? You're stuck in the rat race, doing a job that you despise or at the very least bores you to tears. Perhaps you dread Monday mornings because that means the weekend is over and you're stuck going back to that place. How exciting would it be to have a job you're passionate about, one where you can't wait for Monday morning to arrive? Or perhaps you don't spend enough time with family and friends. Now think about this for a moment. How much are you missing out on? Imagine having the flexibility to work whenever you want from wherever you want. Perhaps you wish you could start your own business to provide you with freedom. The freedom to allow you to work from home, but have, maybe you have just no clue of how to get there. Or perhaps you dream about being able to travel. How long ago was your last trip? Wouldn't you like to travel way more? And most importantly, be able to afford it? Now, how do I know those must sound familiar to you? Because I went through all of them. I was right where you are now. And I can tell you from personal experience, you don't have to live your life this way. And I'm going to show you right now how you can change it. So I always knew I was going to be an entrepreneur. I get that from my dad. He had a mechanic shop while I was growing up, and my mom did the books. So he was always working on the business. He'd leave early in the morning, come home late at night. He never really had a lot of time for my sister and me. And I was always a high achiever, top grades, captain of the football team, whatever. I was always trying to impress him with my achievements. I always felt like if I just did this one extra thing, hit this next milestone, sooner or later he'd want to come to one of my football games. I wanted to be an entrepreneur so I could make my dad proud. But I always wanted to be available for my kids because my father never was for me, and I knew how that felt. But my life got turned upside down when my parents divorced in high school, and I slid downhill. Hung out with the wrong crowd, I dropped out of school. A few years went by working crappy jobs. I was a busboy at a bar when I met the girl who would later become my wife. Somehow she saw through the rut that I was in, and who knows how, but I guess she realized I had some kind of potential. As God knows, her mother certainly didn't. But even though I was jumping from job to job every 3 months, she had faith that I would eventually find something. And I did. But it actually came by accident, and I didn't even realize it at the time. So she was working with an airline, and we were lucky to get some free travel from it. But the airline got swallowed up by another one, and she lost her job in the takeover. The problem was that we got used to traveling the world, and the last thing we wanted to do was to have to pay full price for it. So one day she noticed an ad for a travel agent position in a global company. And I didn't think much of it. A travel agent, whatever, maybe for a year or two. At the time, I didn't even realize it was going to shape my entire life. So when I started with them, I found my passion in selling travel. And suddenly, that overachieving kid that I used to have when I was young, it came out again. And I saw success after success there. Top sales in North America in 2004, again in 2005, top sales globally in 2007. This is a company that has over 7,000 agents at the time. The money was rolling in prestige. I was winning awards, but there was a downside, and it was a huge one. I was working 60 to 80 hours a week, and I was pushing myself to work even more. And guess what? You might not be surprised to figure out that my home life was suffering. I started rationalizing it with my wife. Don't worry, I won't work this much when we have kids. Then we had our first daughter, and then I would say, I have to work hard so I can make more money so she could stay home with the baby. And finally, after our second daughter was born, I was working more than ever, but she had had enough and said I had to make a change just because I was never home. So about 12 years ago now, I opened up a luxury travel company of my own called Mason Horvath Travel. So I thought that if I own my own company, I can work my own hours. And, I was certain it would be my way to stay home with my family. But it didn't quite work out that way. Success and growth came actually quite quickly. We were up to 10 employees in the first year and eventually up to 20. So now I'm wavering back and forth between home and my company. I want to be home with my kids, but I have 20 employees that depend on me. And, we're doing $20 million in luxury travel sales. And I'm this new rising star with Virtuoso. And of course I love my kids, but this pull to be at work was so strong. There was that need in me to be successful. And as it turned out, I was working more hours as the boss in the new business than I was back when I was an employee at the old one. And that's when my wife set an ultimatum. I had to make a change. And so I did. I stopped working so much. I started working from home more. I spent less and less time at the office. And then Mason Horvath Travel started falling apart. Some of our corporate advisors left. Morale was down. Sales were way down. And I had to face colleagues knowing that I was failing. And this was killing me. I had to make another try at it. And so I pulled out all the stops and just started doing everything I could to build the business again. But that was it. My wife was done. And while I was focusing on building the business back, all she wanted was a family. And so we separated, and that was it. So here's the thing. I knew what I had to do to save my family all along, but I just couldn't do it. I was petrified of not striving to be the best, that it was okay to enjoy my life. I realize now that even when I was physically there in the family, I wasn't really there. My mind was constantly on work. I was always stressed. I wasn't there as a father, and I certainly wasn't there as a husband. It was that drive for success I had always had, because I was that little boy trying to make my dad proud so I could get his attention. And I realized I didn't need that attention anymore. My kids don't need me to be successful. My kids don't need me to be the best. They just need me to be there. And so I changed my life. I rearranged the business and, most importantly, turned myself and all the employees in the business into independent luxury travel advisors. So now I'm home with kids. I drive to school. I volunteer for field trips. I'm involved. And don't get me wrong, I work too, but I do it around my time with my kids. And my life and my kids are so much better off for it. So here's the thing. I've amassed a ton of knowledge over these last 22 years or so in the travel business, and it'd be a shame to let it go to waste. So that's why I'm here sharing with you. So maybe you have kids, or maybe not. It might not be about kids for you. But what's the thing that you would rather be doing rather than spending time at a job you hate, working long hours, underappreciated? How nice would it be to go to the gym or relax with a coffee in the morning instead of hustling out of the house to the office? What would your friends think the first time you post a picture of you lounging on the deck of an overwater bungalow in Bora Bora? Okay, so what is luxury travel? Luxury travel means different things to different people, so it might be easier to start with what it's not. So you and I both know that 90% of travel can easily be booked online, which is where most travel is booked nowadays. This is your 1-week package to an all-inclusive in Mexico or a weekend package to Disney or whatever. But that's not luxury travel, and it's not even really worth spending time selling because you'll always be competing with Expedia to see who can sell the same thing cheaper. And there's no fun in that. Instead, luxury travel is for the 10% of people that want something special. Their first priority isn't saving money to book online. Instead, they want the best trip for their budget. This tends to be wealthier people, such as business people, doctors, lawyers, professionals, etc. But it's not always. Sometimes it's just that they've saved up for a 25th wedding anniversary or a honeymoon or some other special occasion. They want to be sure that they receive something special, something put together specifically for them and their interests, not some cookie cutter package that can easily be found online. And they want to speak with a professional to do it. Now, you can be that professional. So what type of trips is it? Well, it's anything from a simple weekend getaway, 4 or 5-star hotels, right up to 6-month trip around the world. We sell cruises, tours, airfare, car rentals, villas, anything. It's just about finding what's the best for your client. The life of a luxury travel advisor is special, particularly if you're someone that has been stuck in the daily grind on someone else's terms. As a luxury travel advisor, I get to set my own work hours. I can work as much or as little as I want. If my daughter has a school concert in the morning, I'm there. If I feel like a workout in the afternoon, I hit the gym. If my friends are taking a long weekend to go golfing, I go too. I don't have any boss to make me feel guilty for taking the time off. And I get to work from wherever I want. I work from home most of the time. So I've kissed away that daily fight in traffic. I no longer set my alarm in the morning and rush to get the kids ready for school so I can get out of the door for my commute. And because I can work anywhere there's an internet connection, my family and I now spend our summers at the cottage. I'm still working, but what a change to our lifestyle. There's no better work for someone who loves travel. Luxury travel advisors take an average of 5 trips per year, and many take far more than that. And I'm not talking about a few trips to Vegas or Los Angeles or something like that. I mean, I'm talking South Africa, Italy, the Maldives, international destinations, and traveling in luxury. And the best part, these trips are free, or at worst, very close to free. And why? Because luxury travel suppliers around the world want you to come and experience their products so you can sell them to your clients. Now, do you have to take that many trips? No, of course not, but it's certainly a nice perk. But the best part about becoming a luxury travel advisor is that you'll never again have to wake up Monday morning dreading the work week ahead. You'll look forward to selling luxury travel. You'll be passionate about your work and your clients. And you can't even imagine how much the rest of your life shines when you love what you do. Now, lots of people get into the travel business as travel agents and don't do so well. You may even know someone that struggled, or maybe you've heard about how travel agents are disappearing. And that's because, as great as it sounds to become a travel agent, most people get it wrong. Most people start trying to sell whatever they can to anyone they know. And this is a mistake. It's a mistake because the vast majority of people simply take run-of-the-mill trips like Disneyland or an all-inclusive in Mexico. And you just can't build a business selling those types of trips. These are the types of trips that people can easily book online, so you're constantly trying to beat online prices. Clients will leave you because they find it $5 cheaper online. So if you're going to be successful in selling travel, it has to be luxury travel. And there are a few reasons for that. You make more money per trip. If you have the choice of making a 20% profit on a $3,000 trip or a 20% profit on a $30,000 trip, which would you choose? Of course, the more expensive trip is the better option because you make 10 times more profit on it. Yes, it's a little harder to book and takes a little more time, but it's not 10 times harder. Next, your clients travel more frequently. Luxury travelers travel 4 times per year on average, yet a run-of-the-mill traveler travels once every 2 years. And so this means that as a luxury travel advisor, you'll spend much more of your time working on repeat business instead of having to constantly drum up new business. Also, there's a higher profit on each booking. So it's much harder to find a customized luxury trip online. So there's less competition with online booking engines like Expedia. And there's more job satisfaction. Run-of-the-mill travelers are much more interested in price, whereas luxury travelers are more interested in value and quality. So it's much more exciting to sell based on what value you can bring instead of simply on whether you can save someone a few dollars. And luxury travelers respect you more because they know it's not all about the price. They understand and appreciate the value you bring to the business. It just makes for a much higher job satisfaction. And you get to travel in luxury. Travel agents that sell run-of-the-mill travel find it very difficult to get travel deals. When speaking with a mass market agent, you'll often hear that they don't get to free travel. We don't get to travel like free like we used to in the old days. Well, this isn't the case in luxury travel. Luxury suppliers still recognize how important it is for advisors to visit their properties in order to sell them in luxury travel. So if what you're looking to do is to get into the travel business, it's pretty clear what type of travel you should sell. Am I right? So the question then is, if it's so obvious why you should be selling luxury travel over regular run-of-the-mill travel, why doesn't every travel agent sell luxury travel? And the answer is that they would love to, but they just don't know how to find luxury clients. And if you don't know how to find these clients, then you don't have any way to sell luxury travel because you have nobody to sell it to. But here's the thing. I do know how to find them, and I'm going to let you know how in a few minutes. But first, let's jump into the 3 secrets that you need to know. But before we do, I want to explain that becoming a luxury travel advisor is not a get-rich-quick scheme, nor is it a travel around the world and do no work scheme either. This takes work. It's not always fun. It's mostly fun, but it's not always fun. I can only provide you with all the tools you need to be successful, but just like any successful career, you still need to put in the time and the effort. This is still a job after all. So, there are 3 secrets to my success. These are the secrets I've taught to hundreds of advisors, allowing them to work from home, traveling an average of 5 times per year, with the opportunity to make 6 figures doing what they love, planning travel. So, what are the 3 secrets? Secret number 1, what a luxury travel advisor does for their clients that makes them so in demand, causes those clients to shower them with praise, and allows them the opportunity to earn 6-figure incomes doing what they love. Secret number 2, how you can confidently sell luxury travel to seasoned world travelers, even if you've had no experience selling travel before and don't know anything about the destination. Secret number 3, how to make wealthy travelers seek you out for help with their travel, even if you have no connections of your own and no desire to build a business through networking. Okay, so let's dive into secret number 1. What a luxury travel advisor does for their clients that makes them so in demand, causes those clients to shower them with praise, and allows them to earn 6-figure incomes doing what they love. So, Jane and her husband Mark were searching for a trip to Italy. Their oldest daughter, Sarah, had just graduated college, and they're taking her and her younger sister to Italy as a graduation gift. Now, like most people, they started their search online. Okay, well, Jane started the search online. Mark works on Wall Street, so he's obviously too busy to help out in any meaningful way. But Jane, figured it was pretty easy at first. She knew they wanted to see Rome and Florence and Venice, but what else? So she searched a little bit more and realized there's Amalfi and Capri and Sicily and Puglia, and she started wondering how she's going to fit all this into 14 days. And wait a minute, the more she looked into it, the more questions popped up. She started wondering how they're going to get from one city to the next. And choosing a hotel was more confusing than she anticipated. How could she know which one was the best? They all seemed to promise the same thing. TripAdvisor wasn't much help because everyone had a different opinion on who do you believe? 1 room for 4 or 2 rooms of 2? And was she supposed to find an interconnecting room? And how? And what about the tours? She knew they didn't want a bus tour. They wanted somebody to take them around, but who could they trust for that? And that's when Jane came across our ad. She reached out to us and we set her up with a time to chat over the phone. On that call, I asked her all kinds of questions. The obvious ones like the dates and where she'd like to go visit and that kind of a thing. But we went much deeper into the conversation. We talked about past trips they've done. We discussed what they do for a living and what the kids do for fun. We talk about their interests, their hobbies. My goal was to get as much information from their family as I could because that's what would allow me to customize the tour specifically for them. My next step was to contact my local travel supplier in Italy to give them all the information I had collected from my conversation with Jane. The local supplier came back to me with the itinerary they suggested based on the family's interests. So, of course, the trip had all the main things to see in Italy: the Colosseum, the Vatican, gondolas in Venice, etc. But what sets us apart is the extras we provide. So it was more about what else they could do. Our local supplier had selected the perfect hotels for the family's interests and budget, and they helped them with the connecting rooms, which in this instance worked out cheaper than 1 room that slept 4. But it wasn't just a room at the hotel. They secured free upgrades at the hotel, VIP status, free spa treatments, all of these at no extra charge. And In addition to the regular tours, our local supplier added a special behind the scene visit to a dress shop and a fashion show in Milan because in the initial chat, I found out that the girls were really into fashion. And I found out that Mark loves cars, but the girls don't. So we had a Ferrari delivered to the hotel one evening so Mark could drive it through the hills of Tuscany while the girls relaxed by the pool. And with the help of my local supplier, we took care of all of their transfers and transportations. So now, once we've come up with this itinerary, I presented it to the family and then worked with them to come up with the perfect trip. I don't dictate what they should do. I collaborate with them. So we changed a few nights here and there. We switched a hotel because they preferred something in the countryside. We added a cooking class. And in the end, they had a trip of a lifetime, one they could have never booked on their own. And the thing is, we do much more than just help with the planning. We alleviate their stress by helping with the details. We provide confidence that they're getting the best trip possible. And we give them the peace of mind knowing that we're there to help. These are the intangible things that they could never get by booking on the internet. And although this trip was a tour, that's not all I do, of course. Like I mentioned earlier, I also sell cruises and airfare, or sometimes it's just a hotel. It's really anything they need. The key as a luxury travel advisor is to be there for all of their travel. Once you get a client, you specialize in them. It's not about specializing in a destination or a type of travel. It's about specializing in each one of your clients. You become indispensable. So they're committed to booking all of their travel through you, and they tell everyone they know to do the same. So as you can see, the job of a luxury travel agent is far more than just booking flights. And the best thing is, this VIP service is in high demand. So now that you've got all these clients coming in, that's great, right? Well, not necessarily. What if you have no experience? How can you confidently sell to them if you don't know anything about the destination? Well, that comes to secret number 2. The vast majority of people that start as a travel agent fail. Most will chalk it up to inexperience or not knowing the suppliers and destinations, but this isn't the case. You don't have to have experience to be successful, and you don't have to know anything about a destination to be able to sell it. What these people lack is a proven method on how to work with clients. Their inexperience showed through because they didn't know what to say and what questions to ask. And if a potential client doesn't trust you, you're doomed. Thankfully, we've developed a method that allows you to work with clients and sell luxury travel successfully, even if you have no experience. And best of all, it's guaranteed to work. I know this because I've taught it to hundreds of people through the years. And I owe it all to Michelle, who was the very first employee at Mason Horvath. I think we hired her after being open just a few months, which was back in 2007. And she was friends with one of the advisors that opened Mason Horvath with me, and she'd just been let go from a job as a manager at a bar. So Michelle had no travel experience, which was fine because we were hiring her as an administrative assistant to answer the phones, help with running of the office, filing, that kind of thing. It was crazy that first year in business. We had so much new business coming in that we couldn't find experienced travel advisors quick enough to fill the demand. And one day, when we were particularly busy, one of the advisors said, "Why don't we get Michelle to handle some of these clients?" And I was like, "What?" Like I said, Michelle had never sold travel before. She'd never sold anything before. And in fact, if you had met her, you'd realize that she's the last person anyone would think of when you said salesperson. There's just no way we could throw her into talking to these wealthy, experienced travelers. They'd eat her for breakfast. There's no way they'd trust her with a $50,000 vacation if she was just starting out. So if we were going to make this work, we'd have to come up with some way that would allow her to sell to these clients without letting on that she didn't know anything about travel and without showing that she wasn't a natural salesperson either. So that's what we did. My staff and I worked together to find out what it was that made each of us successful. Plus, I was reading as many books on sales as I could. And the more I read, the more I learned, the more I realized we could make this work. I learned that you don't build trust from telling people what you know. You earn it by listening to what they have to say. People want to be heard, and the best salespeople are the best listeners. So I developed a 6-step process that was based around listening. We called it the MH method. Mason Horvath Travel, MH. That's where the MH method came in. So this process is all about asking questions first, not spurting out information. The whole process is about building trust, not about talking about what you know. So the very first conversation with the client is set up in a way that you don't provide any information or options on the trip at all. It's about listening to the client, then explaining what you're going to do with that information. Then, once you're off the phone, you have plenty of time to research what they're looking for. You can Google the destination to read up on it. Most importantly, you contact the suppliers that will help to put together the options for them. Then, when you go back to the client to present the options a few days later, you've had the chance to research it. And to the client, you truly are the expert. So how well did the MH method work? Michelle started booking travel almost immediately after learning the system. Within 6 months, she alone closed one of the largest single-family bookings we've ever done at Mason Horvath Travel. A family of 4 plus a nanny on an around-the-world cruise on Crystal Cruises. Total price, $492,000 on a family she just met off the internet. Shortly thereafter, word got around and I was asked to sit on a committee with Virtuoso, which is the largest luxury travel network in the world, to help develop the training system they would use for their internal advisors. And I was actually just speaking with the head of training at Virtuoso a short time ago, and she said they're still using the same documents I gave them 10 years ago now to train their new people. And even after 20 years in the business, I still use the process each and every time I work with a client. And I've spent the last decade refining it. So now it's better than ever. But this hasn't just worked for Michelle. Lori was an accountant before becoming a luxury travel advisor. And after teaching her the MH method, she was up and selling luxury travel immediately. In her second week of selling, she picked up a wealthy client named Nav who travels somewhere every month. Last December, he took his partner to St. Lucia and stayed in the presidential suite on the beach. That was $3,000 in Lori's pocket. Most months, she makes between $2,000 to $4,000 off this one client she picked up in her second week. And then there's Brad. Brad started with us 5 years ago after moving here from London. He was selling travel back there in London, but it was completely the opposite of luxury. He worked for a student travel company selling backpacking trips to Thailand for 20-year-olds. Brad had no idea what luxury travel was about, and certainly had never spoken to anyone with the budget of luxury travel. And of course, after teaching him the MH method, he started selling trips immediately. Within his first couple months, he got an inquiry from a United States senator. He successfully booked the senator's trip and has helped the senator travel a number of times since then. So imagine that, a young guy straight from London, barely even knows his way around the city yet, and he's booking travel for a US senator. Now, to be honest, I'm not sure if he's still a senator, but I definitely know Brad is still working with them. Now look, I don't want to say that I invented this way of selling. The best luxury travel advisors, for that matter, the best salespeople in any industry, probably sell in a similar way. That's what makes them great. The difference is that I've put it down in an easily teachable process that anyone, and I mean anyone, can learn. I can tell you that if Michelle, who was so shy and inexperienced when she started, if she can do it, anyone can. And secret number 3. Another reason people fail, and perhaps the biggest reason, is that they don't have leads or connections to clients. After all, it doesn't matter how much you learn and how good you get at it if you don't have anyone to sell travel to. So here's the great thing. It's actually quite easy to find clients as long as you know where to look. Now, let me explain. I started Mason Horvath Travel with Claudia Mason. That's where the Mason part of Mason Horvath Travel comes from. We had both been working for that huge travel company I told you about earlier, mainly doing corporate travel. And when we left that company to start Mason Horvath, we knew we wanted to make it a luxury travel company. The problem was We didn't know much about luxury travel at the time, and we didn't know anything about how to find luxury travel clients. But there was no way we were going to sell run-of-the-mill corporate travel like we had been doing. But we had to pay the bills while we were trying to find a way to reach the elusive luxury client. So we compromised by doing corporate travel, but only for executives, the business people that were allowed to fly business class and stay at five-star hotels. So we kind of thought it would be a short-term thing while the luxury vacation business took off. The problem is that it was too successful. Corporate executives were bragging about our service to other executives who would contact us because they wanted in. And it was hard just to keep up. I know, as far as problems go, it's not such a bad one to have. At the time, we used to call it a Cadillac problem. But it was a problem. And the reason it was a problem is because I didn't want to sell corporate travel. I wanted to sell Africa safaris, not business trips to Milwaukee. I wanted to send people to see Machu Picchu in Peru, not oil refineries in Kazakhstan. So after 2 or 3 years of trying a number of different ways to find luxury clients, I was frustrated. We tried sending direct mail pieces, targeted advertising, networking, word of mouth, all kinds of things. But no matter what we tried, we couldn't grow our luxury vacation business fast enough. Our corporate executive business was outpacing the vacation business 5-1. But then it changed for me. A whole new world opened up when I was reading an article in a luxury travel trade magazine. They were discussing the results of a national survey that looked into the travel habits of the wealthy. And 2 stats in particular hit me like a ton of bricks. 51% of luxury travelers book their travel online, and 44% of luxury travelers don't know that luxury travel advisors exist. What? That means that 44% of luxury travelers aren't choosing to book their travel online. They're doing it because they don't even know there's another option, a better one. And so that's when it hit me. I needed to find a way to get to those 44% and explain why they need to use a luxury travel advisor instead of the internet. But how? I had to meet them where they were going already, on the internet. And that's when the whole world of internet marketing opened up to me. So I got to learning everything I could about internet marketing. And the more I learned, the more fascinated I've become. I purchased every course I came across and tried everything I could. Thankfully, we were making good money on the corporate executive travel because in those first few years, I spent over $250,000 in trial and error coming up with so many different methods to consistently bring in luxury travel clients. And guess what? It finally worked. And once it clicked, we were able to bring in as much business as we needed. I'd finally solved the problem of how to consistently bring in luxury travel clients. As much business as we could handle. Actually, even more business than we can handle ourselves. So when these leads contact us and we use the MH method on them, what happens? Even though they'd never heard of us just a short time ago, they're happy to book with us. People handing over tens of thousands of dollars over the phone to people they've never met simply because we've built the trust using the MH method. So imagine spending your days talking about luxury travel, working with clients that appreciate you for what you do for them, the flexibility to work your own hours from anywhere in the world you want, and to be able to travel the world in luxury for next to nothing. Wouldn't that be awesome? What would your life look like? What would you do different? What would your life be like just a few months from now? What's your spouse going to think when all of a sudden you're making twice as much money but working less? The life of the luxury travel advisor sounds pretty awesome, right? There's a reason Forbes calls it a dream job. But how do you get there? How do you become a luxury travel advisor? Well, there are 3 steps. Step 1 is to learn the exact skills that luxury travel advisors use to successfully command 6 figures and live a life with far more freedom doing something you love. Step number 2 is develop a steady pipeline of leads and clients. Step number 3 is to choose a host agency. So Being a luxury travel advisor is kind of like a real estate agent. Just like a real estate agent is attached to a larger agency to help them succeed, you, as a luxury travel advisor, will affiliate yourself with a larger travel agency. This agency will help you with supplier relationships, licensing, invoicing systems, support, and so much more. So you are still an independent, but you are attached to this larger agency, which is what we call a host agency. And so your step 3 is an important part of that to find the right one for you. Okay, so that's it. Easy, right? Okay. Maybe it feels a bit daunting, but that's okay because I've put together a package that can help you with each of these steps, plus provide much more. A way to transfer you into this in just 6 weeks. So let me ask you this. Is it okay if I talk to you about this package? Would you like to know how I can help you make this your reality? Just go ahead. Let me know in the chat box. Okay, let me tell you what is included with the package. The first thing is easy to follow online instruction videos. This is the meat of the course. Each week, I'll release a new set of videos that dives into everything you need to know to get started selling luxury travel. In week 1, we'll talk about the travel industry as a whole and where the luxury travel advisor fits in, including what you specifically need to know to get free and discounted travel. In week 2, I'll teach you the MH method. This is the same process that Michelle used, but now it's been updated and perfected over the years. In week number 3, I go through the exact steps you need to do to book hotels, tours, cruises, package tours, all of it. This is the nuts and bolts, the how-to mechanics of being a travel advisor. Week number 4, it's all about the different suppliers, who you need to know around the world, and how to find them. In week 5, it's all about getting clients. You don't need to become an internet marketing guru to reap all the rewards. There's a number of different ways to get clients, and I help you with all of that in week number 5. And then in week number 6, it's about getting yourself set up. You know, sometimes we get stuck in a rut. We mindlessly go to our job because that's just what we do. It becomes an old habit that we can't seem to get free from. This course is here to break you out of that old habit. It's a chance to break free from your old job and start something more meaningful, something you can be thrilled to do. And I'm going to walk you through it each step of the way to ensure that you can be successful. But there's more than just the step-by-step videos. I'll also provide a full implementation plan for your marketing, a $1,897 value. Now, I mentioned that in week 5, you'll learn all about marketing strategies, but I'm also going to include an implementation plan as well, so you're not left to apply these strategies on their own. There's also templates, swipe files, and resource lists, a $997 value. These are all there to help you keep track of everything you learn. We also include how to set yourself up and choose a host agency, a $497 value. Remember that host agency is a large agency that you can affiliate with, so I'll show you exactly how you can choose the right one for you. And if that's all there was, it'd be worth it. But that's not all there is. So not only do you get easy to follow online instruction videos, a $2,997 value, a full implementation plan for your marketing, a $1,897 value, templates, swipe files, and resource lists, a $997 value, how to set up and choose a host agency, a $497 value. You also get bonus number 1, lifetime access to the Selling Luxury Travel Online Summit recordings, a $1,997 value. The Selling Luxury Travel Summit was an online video-based live event I recorded earlier this year with over 30 expert interviews covering a wide range of topics developed specifically for the luxury travel advisor. My world-class speakers were the top luxury travel advisors, luxury travel suppliers, marketing and social media experts, and they all shared their best practices and tips that you can immediately implement to grow your business and make more money. This is over 30 hours of content, all to help you learn more about the industry and grow your business. Here are a few of the, literally pages of comments I received from the event. You can see Becky at the top says, I've been here every day for 8 hours each day. This has been amazing, informative, and has helped me make some major decisions going forward with my luxury travel business. Kudos to you, Dean, for putting this all together. I have over 60 pages of notes. LOL. I'm so grateful for you doing this, and I now have a renewed vigor to move forward. And last but not least, congratulations on getting married. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Just as a side note, a few days after the live event, I flew to South Africa and got married. But and because this was recorded live, everybody knew what was going on. Okay, anyway, so Connie says, Dean, it was an amazing summit. I took 3 days off my full-time job to join as I knew it was going to be a breakthrough for me, and it was more than I could have ever expected. Thank you again, and congrats on your wedding. I hope we get to see a lot of pics from the wedding. Take care. Okay, so she says 3 days off her full-time. The event ran Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It was actually 4 days, but I guess she worked 3 days and had to take that off. But the event itself was 4 8-hour days. Karen, I simply can't get over how informative these presentations are with actionable items. And then Dawn jumps in and says, me either. And again, so this is just a quick example of the tons of comments we had on this event. Really, the purpose of the event was for you to figure out what direction you want to take your business. And that's what the goal of it was. Because within our course, through these videos that we teach you all the basics of how to get yourself set up, but where you go with that and how you set yourself up and what direction you take it can be very different depending on who you are. And this summit is all about that. It's how to help provide you with the direction of where to go. So it's kind of the step 2 to get you excited about your direction. And you get all of it. You get every bit of that recorded event live. It's all for free. There's 2 types of people that I talk to about becoming a travel advisor. The first group are afraid to reach for what they want. They live their lives day to day without ever planning for the future. And these are the types of people that will continue living just as they always have. That type says the good life is always out of reach, even when presented with a golden opportunity. On the other hand, there's the type of people that become successful luxury travel advisors. And they're the kind that realize that they need to take the very first step on their own, that they control their own destiny, that they can actually have a life others dream of. It's not out of reach. They just have to grab it. So which group are you in? Okay, bonus number 2, lifetime access to live video Q&A conferences and video FAQs, a $1,397 value. Every second week, I do a live video conference call where I invite everyone to join and ask questions. The questions can be from the course, or perhaps once you've started selling travel, they can be questions about what you're working on, scenarios with your clients, or anything. You also have access to all the ones we've done previously. So we've got a couple years worth of live Q&As that you can go back and look through. Bonus number 3, membership to our private Facebook group, which really is priceless. Perhaps the biggest bonus of all is this membership. You'll have the opportunity to learn from other members. You're going to see the issues that others run into. So if they happen to you, you'll be prepared. I'm active in the group and provide assistance as well. So again, this is lifetime access, so you can continue learning from each other. And then an exclusive bonus, lifetime access to the 65 Ways to Find Luxury Travel Clients course, a $1,997 value. So not only will I teach you the strategies behind our marketing campaigns, not only do I give you an implementation plan to put a campaign together, but I'm including access to my brand new course, 65 Ways to Find Luxury Travel Clients. This is 65 videos, each one with an in-depth description of a different way to find clients. Now, you only need 2 to 3 different strategies to grow your business. So you can look through all of these different options and just choose the ones that fits your interests and personality. So let's just quickly go back over everything that's included. The easy to follow online instruction videos, a $2,997 value. A full implementation plan for your marketing, $1,897 value. Templates, swipe files, and resource lists, a $997 value. How to set up and choose a host, a $497 value. Bonus number 1, lifetime access to the Selling Luxury Travel online summit recordings, a $1,997 value. Bonus number 2, lifetime access to live video Q&A conferences and video FAQs, $1,397 value. Bonus number 3, membership to our private Facebook group, priceless. The exclusive bonus, lifetime access to the 65 Ways to Find Luxury Travel Clients course, a $1,997 value. Total value, $11,779. Now, if all this did was give you the freedom to work from home on your own terms, would it be worth it? Yeah, of course it would. If it provided you with a job that you could be excited to wake up to on Monday morning, something to be passionate about, would it be worth it? Yeah, of course it would. Now, I don't know about you, but before I got into travel, on Sundays, I used to get this sinking butterfly feeling of dread in the bottom of my stomach, and it would creep up on me as the day went on, knowing that the weekend was ending, and I had to face that crappy job in the morning. I haven't felt it since I started working in travel, doing something I'm passionate about. Wouldn't it be great if you never had to have that Sunday dread feeling again? And if all it did was give you a handful of clients, enough to get you an extra few $1,000s a month, wouldn't it be worth it? Think about how much people regularly pay for college education and don't end up with half those benefits. But don't worry, I'm not going to charge you $11,799. But before I get to how much it does cost, I've got one more very exciting thing to tell you about. Now, remember earlier when I said that our marketing for bringing in new travel clients is so successful that we bring in too many leads that we can even handle? Well, guess what? If all this talk about pre-built marketing campaigns and strategies and how to win clients is making your head spin, then forget all about them. Because if you don't want to, you don't even need to find your own clients. We've got a lead program where we'll provide you with all the leads you need using our own unlimited luxury lead program. Yes, you heard me right. You don't even need to find your own clients. We'll provide them for you. We are the only luxury travel agency with a program like this. How can you put a dollar value on this? Wealthy travelers sent to your inbox right at the moment they're looking to book their travel. These leads can literally build your career. No one in the luxury travel industry has a program like this. It's completely unique. Where else can you start a business where you don't even have to look for your own clients? So by now, I'm sure you're dying to hear how much the program costs and what this special bonus is that I mentioned way back at the beginning. My online course, with all of the inclusions I've just spoken about, is 6 monthly payments of $397, or you can save some by doing a single payment of $1997. Now, why, may you ask, am I giving it away at such a low price when I could be selling it for so much more? After all, Oprah says this is the happiest job ever. Well, the truth is, this course is worth 10 times what I'm charging. But here's why I'm not charging more. It's because I don't want a big business. I don't want to go back to those days of having all those employees and having a ton of people asking me questions and me being strung out all day at work and not having the energy to come home and be with my kids. I've got all this information in my head. I've got all these ways to find clients. So why not share this information with you? But here's the thing. Because I want to be there for the students, and because I want to give as much of my time as possible, I cap the number of people entering the course. That way, I can limit the number of anyone joining with us at any one time. And it works great because my free time is preserved because I'm not overworked. So if you've seen this ad, it means that there's still space this month, but it's not going to last. We normally fill our monthly quota within days of launching. Now, remember when we started this class, I told you that there was a special bonus available for anyone that stuck around until the end? Well, here it is. For anyone that already knows this is the right thing for them, I'm offering a half-price discount, but only for the next 3 days. This means that you can enroll for only 4 monthly payments of $297. That's half the payments of the regular price. Or save even more with the one-time price of $997, which is half off the regular one-time price of $1997. But these are only available if you act in the next 3 days. Now, why am I offering a discount? Well, you probably clicked on an advertisement to get here, right? Well, those things cost me money. So the quicker we can fill our open spots for the month, the less I have to spend on advertising. And on top of this, there's a 21-day money-back guarantee. Look, I don't want you to be stuck in this if you join and realize being a luxury travel advisor isn't for you. That perhaps planning luxury travel isn't what you thought. And that's okay. I'll provide you with a refund for any reason in the first 21 days. So really, there's no reason not to join us today. It's half price, and I'll give you your money back if you discover that being a luxury travel advisor isn't right for you. Now, okay, maybe you'd like to enroll right now to take advantage of the half price discount. Why not? There's a 21-day guarantee. But you have a question. I don't want to force you into enrolling if you have questions. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a chance to ask your questions. 3 different ways, in fact. The first one is to use that chat function right over there beside on the side of the screen. Go ahead and write your question in there. I'll get to some of them in a couple of moments once I've completed the presentation. But even if I don't get to yours on here, I'll follow up with you directly. Or if you come up a question after we're done here, feel free to hit reply on any of the emails you've received from me. Then simply email me your question. It'll come directly to me and I'll send you back an answer. Now, the third way to ask a question is to go ahead and click that link on the side there to take you to the information page that talks about the program. When you get about halfway down the page, you'll see a small pop-up at the bottom of the screen that will say, would you like to schedule a conversation? That gives you an opportunity to set up a time to speak with us in person, and we can talk about the program and you can ask your questions. If you use any of these methods to ask a question, it's going to show me that you're interested in enrolling, but you didn't enroll because you have a question. So I'll hold the discount for you personally until I'm able to get back to you with an answer, whether that's by email or in person. So from here, you have 2 paths, and the choice is yours to make. You can choose to continue on as you always have, wishing you could do something more fulfilling, dreading Monday mornings, knowing that there's more to life than just work. Or you can take the other path, the one that will make you a luxury travel advisor, to do a job that you can be passionate about, that allows you to be your own boss, to work whenever you want, from wherever you want. The choice is yours. Has this worked for people before? Of course. Now, let me see if I can get this video going so you can hear from some of our past students. Let me see if I can get this up and running here.
So I love Dean's course. It takes you from the basics, if you don't know anything about travel, like I didn't, all the way up to the things you need to know to book travel.
The course was so easy because the information is doled out a week at a time, so you can't get overexcited and get ahead of yourself. It's really easily paced.
Dean's course is amazing. Selling luxury travel, you absolutely have to take this course if you're in the travel industry at all, or you're thinking about the travel industry.
Super easy, great resources, download everything, lots of links to other information online, so plenty of information, plenty of knowledge base.
Probably the best thing is he keeps updating it, so you get the new information as the course grows, and you have access to it for life.
Please, let me tell you, the connections are amazing, as well as the course is easy to go through and very comprehensive.
The community that we've built around the course is outstanding. You can always ask questions, make suggestions, and I just love the group.
I would totally recommend it. One interesting thing that I've noticed meeting people here is that there seems to be quite a few women my age who are entering this as a second career, who have backgrounds in business, who've done some incredible things and have a lot of skills and are now going to put those skills to use in this new endeavor.
So that's an example of 3 different people that have had some great success in the program, but we've had tons of people that have come through. Here's a few examples of some comments that have been in our private Facebook group. You'll see this one saying, last night I passed the first half of the exam, woohoo. I'm already researching a luxury cruise for a couple traveling to Greece next year and another cruise for 2 families traveling together on a midline cruise. I now have 2 folders in my file. This one's a bit longer, so let's just jump kind of to the highlighted part. But she just wanted to share her experience with Dean's Lead program, that the responses were positive and it sounded like that you may have a trip to book. Thank you, Dean, for your unending guidance and support. And then Heather saying, yesterday it dawned on me that this month will be the most clients I've had to date, all traveling within the same month. 2 couples going to Peru, 1 couple to Bora Bora, 2 couples to Italy, 1 couple to Costa Rica, 1 family of 4 to New York City, which I wouldn't probably count, but they booked a $1,200 a night suite. Edited to add a sales meeting group of 25 in Dallas, totaling 75 room nights. Busiest month yet, feels amazing. Now, the other thing to notice here is to look at the support within the group. Heather only posted this 4 hours before I took that screenshot, and already she has 54 people liking, loving it, and 31 comments. So this just goes to show you how much of a community it is inside our Selling Luxury Travel members group. And okay, I probably don't need to tell you that these comments came from before the world shut down due to the virus, but as I mentioned before, it's going to come back. And we've got a number of different ways to teach you how to prepare yourself for when it does. And if that's still not enough to convince you, then check out this Condé Nast traveler who is, you may have heard of them before. They have the Condé Nast magazine and one of the top travel websites for information out there on the World Wide Web. They have named their top travel specialist for 2021. And this is literally the top, I don't know exactly how many it is, maybe 200, 250 travel advisors around the world. This is worldwide. And we've had 3 people named on this list that are past graduates of our program. So Jeannie and Jessica here, you'll see when they started, they had absolutely no experience in the travel business. They started out taking our course that kicked them off, and now they're one of the top 250 travel advisors in the world. And T, who graduated in February 2019, she was in the business before she took our course, but she wanted to upgrade her skills. She was just kind of selling regular travel. She wanted to move into luxury travel, and she wanted to expand what she was doing. And so she is also now on that list. And so I give you this example because you can come from absolutely nothing and become super successful in only just over 3 years. But if you are somebody that is in the business already and you're just wondering if this is an idea to come in and broaden your skill base and move yourself into luxury travel, T is proof that you can do it and make it a super successful that way as well. Now you might be saying, but I'm not a salesperson, and that's okay. Remember, with the MH method, it's not about being a salesperson. All you need to do is follow along the MH method that I teach. It's simply asking questions of your clients and then providing them with what they're looking for. You don't need to sell anything. You don't need to talk people into anything. You're simply asking people questions, finding out what they want, and then providing it for them. And you might also be asking, can I start part-time? And absolutely you can. This is the type of role that is perfect for part-time because you can put in as many hours as you want. You don't have to give up your full-time job to take a leap into something new. All you have to do is simply work around the schedule that you have now. It's perfectly fine to be able to do that, as long as you've set the expectations for your clients so that they know when they can expect to hear back from you. That's it. That's all you need to do. Now, look, I know what it's like to be stuck in a job you're not happy with. I know what it's like to stare at the clock, willing away the minutes until you can get the heck out of there. And I know what it's like to work the long hours, to come home from work late, to rush through story time with my daughters, just so I could get to some work that I brought home with me. For me, I had this internal belief that I needed to be an entrepreneur, that it was what my dad wanted for me. It was that innate drive that forced me away from enjoying my life. But what is it for you? What's driving you? What is keeping you from reaching for a job like this? A job that you can be passionate about, a job that provides you with the flexibility to work whenever you want to, from wherever you want to. It doesn't matter what kind of work you're in. If you're stuck in the daily grind of work, you'll end up where I was, if you're not there already. You can stay still and live your life unfulfilled, or you can live the life of your dreams if you just take a step. And I'm not saying it has to be a big step. Most people start part-time, like I was saying, and wait until their income surpasses what they're doing now. It's not about taking a big leap into the unknown. It's about taking the small steps. The first small step is to click that button right there beside us and enroll with either the full payment or the 4 monthly payments. The second step is taking the time to do the course. You can do it in just 30 minutes per night will do. And then the third step is starting out. Start out with any of the 65 ways to bring in clients. Use the MH method as they start coming in, and then just go for it. Or take some of our leads from the Unlimited Luxury Leads program and start selling. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be the next step on the way to a new life of freedom and passion. Okay, and with that, let's open it up to questions. Okay, first one, the obvious one. Michael's asking, when will travel get back to normal? Well, the first thing to think about is that vaccines are going to be the game changer. Most experts are saying that the US and Canada will see everyone that wants a vaccine to have one by the end of summer. And so when you think of that, there's a couple things to remember. The first one is that everyone doesn't need to be vaccinated for people to start traveling. It's not like suddenly there's going to be a switch at the end of summer that people will start traveling. The news about people talking, saying herd immunity, we don't need herd immunity for people to get back traveling. Someone doesn't need to wait until everybody has a vaccine. If an individual is vaccinated, they'll want to get away because they'll know it's safe. So it's not, it's as it rolls out and as more people get vaccinated, more and more people will start traveling. That's the first thing to think about. Second thing to think about is what is normal? When you say the question, when will travel get back to normal? What is normal? When you read in, the New York Times about travel being down, 90% or whatever it might be, and how long it will take, it'll be another year before it gets back to normal, they say. You have to remember that when they're talking about travel back to normal and everybody being back to where it was before, they're talking about all types of travel. And there are different segments of what makes up the people that sit on a plane and the people that go around the world. By far, the biggest one is business travel. People are traveling for business. They're going to conferences. They're going to meet clients and stuff. And obviously, we all know that's almost completely evaporated. People are doing things on Zoom now. People are doing, remote meetings, that kind of a thing. The large conferences aren't coming back. They do need to wait for herd immunity. And so, we don't have to care about that segment of the population. Those travelers are going to be a while before they come back, but we don't care. We're not selling business travel. The second segment of who makes up a plane when people are traveling is the regular traveler. 90% of the people out there, the regular travelers that may go to Hawaii once a year, they're going to visit, their relatives across the country, or maybe, they've saved up for that once in a lifetime trip to Italy. Those type of regular travelers, they take up the second largest portion of travels. And, those are the type of people that will wait for herd immunity, wait for everything to come back to normal, because they're not used to traveling every year anyway. So the fact that they have to take 18 months or 24 months off travel, it's not the end of the world. Like they're not itching to get back to travel as much as the luxury traveler is. And so when we look at the luxury traveler, they are that smallest percentage of people that are out there traveling, but they travel the most. These are the people, like I mentioned earlier, right at the beginning, these are people that travel multiple times per year, and they're the ones that are really feeling it. Traveling is part of their lifestyle, and they want to get back to it as soon as possible. This also coincides, as I mentioned earlier, with age. Most luxury travelers tend to be in the older demographic, and that's because they've had a lifetime to be able to accumulate their wealth, and also because they have more time, because they are in retirement or semi-retirement, that type of thing. And so those people also coincide with the people that are also going to be getting the vaccine sooner. And so, like I said earlier, they will be traveling quicker than regular travelers out there, or business travelers and that type of thing. And so it's important to understand that when we ask a question, when will travel get back to normal? We understand what normal means. And if you're reading an article that says it's going to be X number of months or whatever until travel gets back to normal, make sure you're looking at it and going, okay, what do they mean by normal? And is that really the type of customers that I'm going after? Or am I going after a different group? And so anyway, okay, next question. So Jennifer is asking, what equipment do you need? Anything more than a laptop? And the reality is no. A lot of the stuff that we do can even simply be done on an iPad, but there is some stuff that is specific to an actual computer. So, whether it's a laptop or a desktop computer, laptop, of course, allows you to do the job from anywhere. A desktop is just as good, but you just can't carry that everywhere you go. But the reality is, you can. That's really all you need. A phone. You can talk to clients more and more, especially now that Zoom has taken off and FaceTime. You can talk to clients face to face over your computer. Most people have a phone as well, so that you can quickly pick up the phone and call people as well. But really, those are the only two things you need. I have my printer because every once in a while I like to print things out just so that I can look at them and go back and forth on them. But that's not necessary. But yeah, really, that's all you need. Sarah's asking, are there any extra cost? And so for the course itself, no. Just the course payment is all there is. But once you're set up, you'll need a website. I shouldn't say you need a website. About half the people that start up don't have a website, and they simply use their host agency's website, and their name is on that website, which is perfectly fine. Of the half that do want their own website and want their own website or web presence so that they can build their own brand, then you have some choices. You can use a Virtuoso free website that you don't have a lot of flexibility on what it looks like, but it's free. So you can get your own personalized website through Virtuoso, who's the luxury travel network that we belong to. That's one option. You can create your own on something like Wix or Squarespace. That's like $8 to $10 to $12 a month. You have to kind of have your own creativity. They have templates, of course, but you can kind of build your own creativity into it to be able to create your own. That's an option. Or the third option is to go with a company like Truevail, TRUEVAIL.com, I believe is the name, is how to spell it. Truevail.com. They're a company that specializes in building website templates basically for travel advisors. And I don't know exactly how much they cost offhand because it is a third party and I don't want to get in trouble with giving the wrong price on it because he has a few different packages because he can help you with social media and all that kind of stuff as well. But their websites are beautiful. They're one-page websites. They manage it. You don't have to worry about it. And it's a gorgeous website. And so they're worth looking into as well. And, one of those options for sure. So that's one cost. So anywhere from zero to, whatever TrueVale is, $50 to $100, and they do their marketing and social media and all that kind of stuff. That's one cost. If you want to advertise, you could start at a few dollars a day, $2 or $3, $5 a day, something like that. If you wanted to, you don't have to. Like I said, within those 65 different ways of promoting your business, some of them are paid advertising, some of them are completely free. But it is an option to you if you wanted to. Or you could decide to join the Unlimited Luxury Leads program instead of doing your own advertising. There is a cost to that program, although I won't go into the details here because I provided all of the details on the next page. So if you go and click that link, you can go and watch, halfway down the page, there's a short video that talks about the Unlimited Leads program, and you can find out all about it there. But yeah, so that's an option to you. But remember, you don't have to spend money on advertising. If you're not interested in joining the Leads program or doing your own paid advertising, that's okay too. Because remember, with the 65 ways to win clients, you can find a number of options to find business that is completely free. You do not have to pay to find clients, but it can be a faster way and an easier way because we can do the work for you, or you can use a couple of different methods that we teach you within the program to do it as well. So yeah, again, there is the cost to it. Go check it out on the next page. But remember, you don't have to pay. You can find clients on your own. People do it all the time. What else maybe? Virtuoso Travel Week is something. Obviously in 2020, Virtuoso Travel Week takes place in Las Vegas and about 6,000 people come. And in 2020, with the virus, won't be taking place, but there is the online version in 2020. 2021, it'll be back. 2022, it's something to kind of put your mind towards of saving for it. It's, whether it be $1,000, $2,000, depending on how long you go for. It's the largest, most important event in the industry. And it's in August in Las Vegas every year. So that's something to think about. And really beyond that, it's business cards, the little things that you don't need, but you may want. You don't need business cards until the business, really starts picking up and you start meeting people and that kind of a thing. But so much of what we do is online now anyway. So business cards isn't even necessary, other than when you may go to a trade show or something. But yeah, that's really it. There is no business out there that I can think of that is as inexpensive to get into based on what you get out of it. It's a really inexpensive way to be able to get yourself into a business that you love. Margaret asks, do you need a license? And so for most states and provinces in Canada and the US, you don't need an individual license or certification for yourself to be a travel agent. The exceptions are California, Hawaii, Florida, Iowa, and Washington State in the United States. And in Canada is Ontario, Quebec, and British Columbia. So if you don't live in any of those areas, you have nothing to worry about. Don't worry. If you do live in one of those areas, don't let that scare you either. It's not that big a deal. But just let me know. Just send me an email or whatever after this is done and say, hey, Dean, I live in California. What are the regulations? That kind of a thing. And I can send you a quick note on what the regulations are. So don't let that hold you back. It's just formalities. And then basically you fall under your travel agency's license, your host agency, and you fall under their license. And that is how you are allowed to book the travel. And so, you know what, we have a couple more questions here, but I'm already way over what I said. I said it would be about 60 minutes and we're well past that now. So if I've answered your questions, great. If I haven't answered your questions yet, I will get back to you by email. Don't worry, I will respond. Remember, if you have more questions after this, you can send me an email or you can click on that link and go to the page. Halfway down the page, there's going to be a pop-up that you can set up a time to speak with us. And otherwise, jump in there. Remember, you've got 3 days to take advantage of this half price discount. Go in, jump in. There's a 21-day guarantee. What have you got to lose other than a life that you weren't happy with and getting in on a business that you can enjoy? So with that, I will call it an end of the program, and I hope to talk to everybody soon. Bye-bye. All right, that's it. Thank you for sticking around to the end. If you want more information, go ahead and click the link that's going to pop up here in a couple seconds or in the description. It'll take you to a page that has a bunch of more information. It will also give you the chance to enroll right there. Remember, if you have questions, you can always email me at dean@sellingluxurytravel.com. The other thing is, if you have, kind of major questions and you really want to talk things over with me, you can set an appointment with me. So go ahead, click that link to that more information page. And on that page, you're going to, as you're scrolling down, you're going to see a pop-up that comes on and says, hey, set up a time to chat with Dean. You can go ahead, that's going to go into my calendar, find a spot where we can talk, and we'll have a chance to talk about the program. You do talk to me. It's not some sales guy. You will actually talk to me. Other than that, I hope you enjoy the video, and I hope to see you in the course, because a luxury travel advisor is the best job in the world, and it's a job that you can be passionate about. Talking all day, every day about travel, what could possibly be better than that? So anyway, hope to see you in the program.